Chosen one, you are not here by coincidence. This is a divine summons, a moment written into your timeline before you were even born. Heaven has arranged this encounter because you are standing at the threshold of something holy, something supernatural. The Spirit of God has been preparing you for this exact hour, the hour where hidden promises begin to surface and the wealth of heaven starts to move in your direction. This is not a season of waiting, it is a season of release. Anointed one, there is a power within you that no force of darkness can duplicate, no man can explain, and no circumstance can contain. What you carry is not from this world. It is a divine weapon, a heavenly seed designed to bring transformation wherever your feet touch. The same hand that parted seas and multiplied loaves has marked you to carry a supernatural transfer of wisdom, of favor, of divine provision. So lean in, chosen one. Heaven is not silent, it is speaking through this moment. Every delay is breaking, every chain is lifting, and every door meant for you is unlocking. You are not being tested, you are being trusted. The shift has begun. Chosen one, let's go back to where your story truly began. Not at birth, not in childhood, not even in the first cry that announced your arrival into this world, but before time itself ever touched your name. There was a moment in eternity when God whispered you into being. Before your heartbeat pulsed, before your body formed, before your parents ever crossed paths, heaven already knew you in full. Your essence, your fire, your purpose, all written, sealed, and set apart. You were not a product of chance. You were not born out of chaos. You were chosen from a blueprint older than creation itself. Heaven saw a need in your generation, a gap in history, and decided that you would be the answer. That's why the anointing on your life feels heavy. That's why you've never quite fit in. You weren't created to blend. You were designed to stand out. The tension you felt between who you are and where you are isn't confusion, it's confirmation. It's heaven's way of reminding you that you were marked for something higher. Anointed one, I've seen this pattern play out in my own life. The seasons where I felt hidden, isolated, or misunderstood, those weren't setbacks, they were sanctuaries. I used to think the silence meant I was forgotten, but I learned that sometimes God hides his greatest weapons in obscurity until the appointed time, and that's where you are now. You're not being overlooked. You're being refined. Inside you, there's something the world can't define, but heaven recognizes instantly a divine weapon, invisible to the natural eye, but unstoppable in the spirit realm. That's why the battles have been so fierce. The warfare isn't random. The resistance you felt, emotional, financial, even physical, isn't punishment. It's spiritual recognition. Hell knows who you are before you do. The enemy doesn't waste resources on empty vessels. He attacks those carrying revelation, those born with the potential to disrupt darkness. You've been armed with something eternal, a voice that carries weight beyond words, a heart that sees what others overlook, a spirit that refuses to die even after being broken. And maybe you don't see it yet. Maybe all you feel is the pressure, but pressure is the proof of purpose. God only refines what he intends to use greatly. That's why it feels like you've been fighting on all sides, because what's inside of you is too powerful to be left unshaken. I want you to breathe and remember this truth. You are not waiting to be equipped. You already are. Every battle you've faced, every delay you've endured, has been shaping your weapon, your gift, your discernment, your authority. The very things that made you feel disqualified are the ingredients of your anointing. Heaven doesn't need perfection, it needs surrender. Chosen one, what you carry is not just for survival, it's for transformation. You were never meant to simply make it through life. You were meant to shift atmospheres, to awaken others, to be a living demonstration of divine power on earth. The treasure inside you is not a mystery to heaven, it's a strategy. You are heaven's response to a problem in your generation. And though the world might call you ordinary, the spirit realm already knows your name. Let that sink in. The reason it's been hard isn't because you're weak, it's because you're weaponized. Chosen one, you need to understand this. Heaven does not make duplicates. There is no other you, no copy, no rival, no replacement. When God formed you, He wrote an assignment into your DNA that no one else can fulfill. That's why comparison will always drain your spirit. It disconnects you from your divine rhythm. You weren't designed to replicate someone else's journey. You were built to reveal a facet of God that only your life can display. Think about that for a moment. Out of billions of souls, heaven decided that only you could carry this specific light, this specific fire. You were handcrafted for your generation. Every detail, your voice, your temperament, your story was designed with purpose. The mistakes you regret, God is using them as material. The pain you survived, that's the oil being pressed from your life. Every wound became a doorway for grace. And now, the very things that once broke you are becoming your authority in the spirit. I know what it feels like to question your worth, to wonder, why me? I've asked that too in the dark nights when obedience felt lonely, when faith felt foolish. But every time I brought that question to God, He answered the same way, because I trusted you with it. You see, chosen one, God doesn't select based on ease. He selects based on endurance. You were chosen because you could carry what others would collapse under. That's not arrogance, that's assignment. The reason your journey has felt heavier than others is because you are carrying something eternal. The warfare that has surrounded you isn't about punishment, it's about prevention. The enemy saw your potential long before you did. He recognized that if you ever discovered what heaven placed inside you, everything around you would shift: families, cities, even destinies. That's why you've faced attacks that don't make sense. Because hell doesn't fear who you were, it fears who you're becoming. But here's the divine mystery. God often hides His greatest warriors in plain sight. He cloaks power in humility, glory in gentleness, strength in surrender. Look at David, mocked by brothers, dismissed by kings, yet chosen by heaven. Look at Moses, a man who stuttered, yet his voice brought empires to their knees. The pattern hasn't changed. God still chooses what the world overlooks and transforms it into what the spirit realm can't ignore. And that includes you. Your gift may not look impressive, your weapon may not sparkle in the light, but in the hands of God, what seems ordinary becomes unstoppable. Your kindness, your endurance, your ability to stand when everything else falls apart, these are not weaknesses, they are divine instruments. Heaven has been sharpening them in secret. The delay you despise has been the forge where your weapon was being prepared. Chosen one, every sleepless night, every unseen prayer, every tear you thought was wasted, they've all been collected, counted, and converted into power. You have been in training for a season you didn't even know was coming. That restlessness in your soul isn't confusion, it's activation, it's heaven whispering, it's time. So hear this clearly. You were never overlooked, only hidden. You were never behind, only being prepared. Heaven doesn't waste pain, it refines purpose. And when the appointed moment comes, and it's closer than you think, everything that once disqualified you will become the evidence of God's glory working through you. You are not here to blend in. You are here to shift the atmosphere. Chosen one, the reason your warfare has felt relentless is because the battle didn't start when you recognized your purpose. It started when the enemy did. Before you even knew who you were, darkness already saw your potential. That's why you've felt resistance since childhood, why peace often seemed like something you had to fight for instead of something you could simply rest in. The battle didn't choose the weak, it chose the dangerous. And you, anointed one, are dangerous to darkness. The enemy isn't after your comfort, he's after your clarity. He knows that once you truly see yourself as heaven sees you, you become unstoppable. That's why confusion came first. That's why relationships crumbled when you were on the edge of breakthrough. That's why you faced betrayal from people you trusted, because the enemy wanted to break your focus, to make you question your identity before you could walk in it. But what the enemy didn't plan for was your endurance. You didn't collapse, you didn't quit. You may have stumbled, but you got back up. You may have doubted, but something inside of you refused to die. That's not luck, that's divine design. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead has been sustaining you in silence. And that, chosen one, is your proof that heaven has invested too much in you to let you fail. I've learned this firsthand. When God began to separate me from comfort, I thought it was rejection. I didn't realize He was extracting me from distraction. He was protecting the purity of my purpose. You see, when heaven is about to elevate you, isolation often precedes revelation. It's in those quiet seasons where you feel unseen, misunderstood, even forgotten that God is building the strength you'll need for public obedience. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. And preparation always feels heavier than performance. Chosen one, understand this: the weight you're feeling is not evidence of defeat, it's proof of destiny. Heaven is conditioning your spirit to handle what it's about to release. Divine promotion requires spiritual muscle, and that's what this season has been about. You've been learning to stand when everything around you shakes, to believe when logic fails, to keep your peace when the storm roars. Every test, every tear, every sleepless night has been a lesson in authority. You've been armed in secret for battles only faith can win. And those battles are not random, they are rehearsals for rulership. Because you're not called to survive, you're called to govern. The anointing on your life isn't for escape, it's for influence. God didn't place His power in you so you could hide from darkness. He placed it there so you could dispel it. So when you feel surrounded, don't panic. Remember who surrounds you. Heaven is not observing your struggle from a distance, it's orchestrating victory from within it. You are not fighting alone. You are moving with an unseen army that knows exactly who you are and what you carry. The reason the battle has intensified is because the birthing has begun. What's been hidden in you is pressing to emerge. And the pressure you feel is not the end, it's the evidence that what heaven planted is about to manifest. Chosen one, this isn't the season to retreat, this is the moment to rise. Chosen one, you've been asking heaven for new strength. But what if heaven has been asking you to remember what's already inside? The breakthrough you're praying for isn't waiting to arrive, it's waiting to be activated. Inside you lies a weapon older than history itself, forged in the mind of God, placed in your spirit long before you were born. That's why the battle intensifies whenever you get close to revelation. The enemy's greatest fear is not your struggle, it's your awakening. I've seen it time and time again when you begin to understand that your tears, your endurance, your faith, your compassion are all weapons, everything shifts. Heaven never armed you with worldly tools. Your weapon doesn't look like what the world expects, yet it carries eternal authority. Sometimes it's your voice when you speak truth, atmospheres change. Sometimes it's your mercy when you forgive what others can't, you disarm hell itself. And sometimes it's your faith, quiet but unshakable, that holds back the darkness trying to swallow your generation. You see, Anointed One, God never needed you to look powerful. He needed you to be powerful. That's why He wrapped your weapon in simplicity. David didn't need a sword, he needed a sling. Moses didn't need an army, he needed a staff. The power was never in what they held, it was in who held them. Heaven doesn't bless tools, it blesses obedience. And your obedience, even in the smallest thing, carries supernatural weight. There were days when you thought you had nothing left to give, when the warfare drained you so deeply that even prayer felt hollow. But even then, the Spirit was interceding through your weakness, strengthening your unseen weapon. That's what I learned in my own wilderness. I kept asking God to change my surroundings, but He was trying to change my understanding. I didn't realize my silence was sharpening my discernment. My heartbreak was refining my compassion. My waiting was fortifying my faith. Chosen one, your weapon has been forming through the very things that hurt you. Every time you chose forgiveness over bitterness, your blade was forged sharper. Every time you worshipped while bleeding, your weapon grew stronger. Every act of faith in the dark has been heaven's blacksmith hammering purpose into your soul. And now, that weapon is ready. But remember this, God never arms His children without reason. You were not given this power just to defend yourself, you were given it to deliver others. There are people tied to your obedience. Their freedom is waiting for your yes. When you rise, chains break. When you speak, clarity returns. When you move, strongholds tremble. The ripple of your obedience extends far beyond your sight. And I feel this deeply. Heaven is saying, stop underestimating what I've placed in you. You've been praying for signs while holding the solution. You've been asking for miracles while carrying the power to release them. The same Spirit that resurrected Christ is not visiting you, it dwells in you. And that means everything changes when you realize what you already have. Chosen one, the treasure inside you isn't fragile, it's divine. The world may see clay, but heaven sees fire, and hell sees threat. So stand firm. This isn't the moment to question what's inside you, it's the moment to unleash it. Chosen one, listen carefully. What you've been calling chaos is actually strategy. Heaven has never been confused about your timeline. The detours, the delays, the doors that slammed shut, none of them were punishments. They were divine redirections. You've been walking through terrain that didn't make sense, because God has been positioning you where your weapon would be most effective. The resistance has been training. The silence has been instruction. Every moment that broke your heart was a rehearsal for spiritual authority. You've been fighting battles that weren't even about you. The struggle wasn't personal, it was prophetic, because when you were chosen, your life stopped being random. Every test was tailored. Every attack was allowed only to awaken your strength. What looked like loss was God teaching you how to discern, how to stand, how to move when visibility is gone, but faith remains. You were never fighting for survival. You were being trained for stewardship. I remember a season when I begged God to remove me from the fire. But He whispered, I'm not burning you, I'm branding you. That's what this season has been for you too, Anointed One. Heaven has been etching identity into your soul, marking you with revelation that cannot be stolen. Pain imprints truth deeper than comfort ever could. And when the next storm rises, you won't tremble, you'll recognize it, because this time you've learned what's on the inside of you. Chosen one, your story has been the classroom of your calling. The moments that made you weep have become the language heaven uses to speak through you. You didn't just survive betrayal, you gained discernment. You didn't just overcome anxiety, you gained authority over it. You didn't just lose relationships, you gained revelation. What felt like breaking was actually birthing. You were being stretched, not destroyed. And now, everything inside you is aligning for what's next. Heaven is calling you into manifestation, not potential, but purpose. That's why the warfare feels heavier now. It's labor pain. The vision you've carried in silence is ready to emerge. The people assigned to your light are about to recognize it. You've walked through darkness, not just to escape it, but to own it. You are the proof that light wins. You may not have realized it, but every hidden season was an answer to someone else's prayer. While you were crying out for clarity, Heaven was shaping you into the very miracle someone else needed. That's how heaven works. It recycles pain into power, wounds into weapons. Nothing has been wasted. So stop apologizing for the weight you carry. Stop shrinking because others can't comprehend it. When heaven wants to change a generation, it doesn't send an army, it sends a person, and that person is you. That's why your warfare has been generational. You're not just breaking cycles in your life, you're breaking patterns that have existed for decades, maybe centuries. The darkness that confronted you didn't start with you, but it will end with you. Chosen one, don't let exhaustion trick you into thinking you've failed. The fact that you're still here means you've already won more battles than you realize. You've outlasted what was meant to destroy you. You're still standing, still believing, still burning, and that endurance has become your weapon. Heaven has been silent not because you're forgotten, but because your training is complete, the classroom is closing, and the commission is beginning. The next time God speaks, it won't be to comfort you, it will be to send you. And when He does, don't hesitate, move. Because this time, the world won't just hear your words, it will feel your authority. Chosen one, this is the hour heaven has been preparing you for. The silence is breaking, the veil is lifting. You've been through fire, through loneliness, through trials that stripped you of everything familiar. And now, what remains is not weakness but authority, not borrowed faith but ownership. The kind of spiritual authority that cannot be taught, it must be lived. When you speak now, things will shift because your words have been purified in the furnace. This is what the waiting was for. You were not waiting for blessing, blessing was waiting for your becoming. The wilderness didn't take your strength, it revealed it. Heaven was never trying to test what you could do, it was proving who you already are. The Anointed One doesn't rise in comfort, they rise in conflict. That's why your story has carried both warfare and wonder. Every loss, every delay, every unanswered prayer has been heaven's hidden curriculum, teaching you how to rule with compassion, how to discern with clarity, how to lead without ego. Because what's coming next requires not noise, but weight. Chosen one, I need you to hear this in your spirit. The weapon inside you is not just for defense, it's for dominion. You were never meant to live in survival mode. You were meant to occupy spiritual territory, to speak peace where there is confusion, to command alignment where there is chaos. You've been anointed not just to pray about mountains, but to move them. And that's exactly what heaven is activating now, your voice as an instrument of divine order. When you decree, things will obey. Not because of your position, but because of your permission. You have heaven's authorization. That's why doors are about to open that were sealed for years. That's why resources are about to find you, instead of you chasing them. This is the beginning of a supernatural transfer, not just of wealth, but of weight. A shifting of influence from the unfaithful to the faithful, from the distracted to the devoted. The systems of the world are trembling, not because of politics or economics, but because the chosen ones are awakening. The atmosphere is shifting to make room for you. And while others may still doubt, creation already recognizes your voice. It's been waiting for this moment, for the child of God to remember who they are and what they carry. I've walked through the seasons where faith felt heavy, where it seemed like my prayers hit the ceiling and returned unanswered. But I've also seen what happens when surrender replaces striving. When I stopped fighting for control and started yielding to the flow of heaven, divine order began to move. Opportunities appeared that logic couldn't explain. Provision arrived disguised as pressure. Every no I received was heaven's way of pointing me to a higher yes. Chosen one, that's where you are now, in the space between exhaustion and expansion. Don't mistake the shaking for rejection, it's alignment. God is repositioning you to receive what has always had your name on it. This isn't a new season, it's your appointed one. The timing is divine, and the delay has expired. You are stepping into a realm where obedience opens doors faster than ambition ever could. The weapon in your hand is ready, the fire in your spirit is steady, and heaven's wind is at your back. This is your commissioning moment, the transition from being chosen to activated. Chosen one, the training is over, the test is complete. Now the mission begins. Chosen one, the moment has come when the unseen becomes undeniable. You've carried the fire in silence, but now heaven is commanding it to speak. The days of hiding are over. The same hand that refined you in obscurity is now revealing you with purpose. You are not being exposed for attention, you are being revealed for assignment. This is not elevation for pride, it's activation for impact. Heaven is not putting you on display, it's putting you on duty. What was hidden inside you is now being summoned to the forefront. You've been armed, anointed, and aligned for this exact hour. Every battle you've survived, every night you wrestled with doubt, every moment you almost quit, they have all converged into this prophetic convergence of destiny. And now the Spirit of God whispers, move. Don't hesitate, don't overthink, just move. The atmosphere is pregnant with fulfillment. The supernatural transfer is no longer a promise, it's an unfolding. Finances, opportunities, connections, and restoration are aligning themselves to your obedience. The favor that was delayed is now demanding your presence. Doors are not being opened by effort but by recognition. Heaven knows your name. Anointed one, the power inside you is not loud, it's precise. It's the quiet authority that makes darkness back away without a word. The kind of light that doesn't beg to be seen but cannot be ignored. That's what divine maturity looks like. You don't have to chase validation when you carry vibration. When you walk into a room, peace follows. When you speak, confusion dissolves. When you pray, the unseen adjusts. That's the authority of someone who has been refined by fire and trusted by heaven. But hear this carefully. Divine power demands divine restraint. God didn't just train your hands for battle, He trained your heart for mercy. The greater your weapon, the deeper your humility must be. Because this power isn't about dominance, it's about deliverance. You were not chosen to impress, you were chosen to intervene, to be a vessel through which heaven's compassion flows into the world's chaos. I've lived through seasons where I wanted to prove myself, to show that I was worthy of what God said about me. But heaven reminded me the proof isn't in the noise, it's in the fruit. Real power doesn't need to announce itself. It reveals itself through transformation. And that's what's happening now, chosen one. People around you are going to begin to sense the difference. Not because you've changed externally, but because heaven has changed the frequency of your spirit. You're radiating something holy, an energy that draws the broken, convicts the lost, and empowers the weary. Don't resist the weight of glory. You prayed for power, but power carries responsibility. The higher the anointing, the heavier the assignment. But fear not, the same Spirit that lifted you will sustain you. You are not walking into this alone. Angels have been dispatched, provision is in motion, and grace has gone before you. You are stepping into rooms you once only dreamed of, not because of your credentials, but because of your calling. Chosen one, this is not the time to shrink. This is the time to release. Let your weapons speak. Let your worship lead. Let your obedience echo. Heaven has invested too much in you for you to stay silent now. The earth is waiting for the sound of your yes. And as you move forward, remember this truth. Power without presence is empty. Stay close to the one who sent you. Stay grounded in gratitude. Because the same God who called you out of hiding is the one who will keep you standing when the spotlight fades. The world is about to witness what heaven already celebrated, the unveiling of a weapon wrapped in flesh, the manifestation of divine fire through human hands. Chosen one, breathe, because what's about to unfold will not come by striving, but by surrender. You have reached the edge of prophecy. the point where what was once spoken begins to take form. This is the Kairos moment, not a time on the clock, but heaven's appointed intersection where destiny and obedience collide. What has been delayed is being delivered. What was hidden in darkness is being unveiled in light. You are not stepping into something new, you are stepping into what was always yours. You will feel the shift first in your spirit, that still, electric awareness that something unseen is aligning. Doors will open quietly, but powerfully. Conversations will find you, connections will appear, and resources will multiply in ways that make no earthly sense. Because this is not the result of effort, it's the harvest of endurance. Heaven is rewarding what only faith could sustain. Anointed one, your season of survival has expired. You are no longer being tested, you are being trusted. This next chapter is not about fighting to be seen. It's about walking as if you've already been sent. You are heaven's proof that prophecy does not die in delay, it matures in it. Every tear you've sown, every act of obedience that felt unnoticed, every prayer whispered in exhaustion, it has been heard, recorded, and multiplied. Nothing was wasted. I've learned that when God reveals what He's been preparing, it rarely looks grand, it looks right. There's peace in your spirit, even if there's pressure around you. That's how you'll know it's divine. Heaven's timing carries stillness, even in motion. You won't need to chase. What's yours will recognize you. That's the beauty of divine transfer. It's not about earning, it's about alignment. Chosen one, this is not just your moment, it's your manifestation. The weapon inside you is awakening fully, not to destroy, but to deliver. The same fire that refined you will now illuminate others. You've carried revelation in silence long enough. Now it's time to release it. Speak with love, move with authority, build with faith. The light you carry is not meant to flicker, it's meant to govern. The heavens are declaring your readiness. The angels who once guarded your preparation are now guiding your manifestation. The oil that dripped in secret will now flow in public. You've been armed for this, not just to survive darkness, but to shift it. Every step you take from this moment forward is prophetic. The ground beneath you has been waiting for your feet. Chosen one, you are not random, you are remembered. You are not overlooked, you are ordained. So when the world looks at you and sees ordinary, let them. Heaven knows what it placed inside of you, a divine frequency, a spiritual fire, a weapon beyond history. Now rise with humility, with fire, with focus. Because this isn't the end of your story, it's the unveiling of your purpose. Heaven's eyes are on you, earth is waiting for you, and eternity is counting on you. Go forth, anointed one, and let the weapon within you speak. Chosen one, as this word settles into your spirit, feel the stillness of heaven surrounding you. This isn't the end of a message, it's the beginning of movement. The atmosphere around you is shifting, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. The weapon within you has been awakened, and heaven has already begun to release what was promised. You are standing in your Kairos moment, your divinely appointed time. Every delay has been redeemed, every closed door redefined, every silent season rewritten with purpose. The transfer is not coming, it's in motion. You are not waiting for breakthrough. Breakthrough has been waiting for you to believe. Anointed one, lift your head. The fire in your spirit is proof that God is still speaking. What was dormant is being reactivated. What was hidden is being revealed. Walk forward, knowing that the same hand that formed you before time began is guiding you now, step by step, into a future already blessed by His design. Heaven has commissioned you to move in quiet authority. Go where you are sent, speak when prompted, love boldly, carry light fearlessly. Let your presence shift the atmosphere, because you are not ordinary. You are heaven's evidence that God still breathes through willing vessels. And before you go, if this message stirred something inside you, let heaven hear your agreement. Type, "I was armed for this," in the comments as your declaration of readiness. Stay connected, chosen one, because what God began in you today, He will finish with glory. Until next time, walk in fire, walk in faith, and never forget, heaven still believes in you.